then you'll be fine as far as, oh my God, y'all, somebody can see me the way that I'm sitting. They can see me recording. Like, they're like walking their dog and like, why is she talking in the camera? Oh, this is so nerve-wracking. Okay, Deondra, get it together. Okay, no, seriously. So, hey guys. So, welcome back to my channel. My name is Deondra, hence the name of my channel, Deondra.Dev. .dev being an extension, which I don't think I touched on this last video. .dev being an extension, kind of like .com, .edu, .gov to verify what it is that the website is associated with. So .dev is associated with being a developer site, which could translate into being a computer programmer or a web design specialist or even a photographer. I've heard uses basically someone within the technical field that also can contribute to design, infrastructure, and just something that could be placed in a portfolio. People use the .dev extension for. So that's what I plan on doing in order to showcase what I'm learning and my talents along the way of becoming an independent cybersecurity specialist. That's what I'm looking to do. So without further ado, I'm just going to hop back into what it is that you came here for, which is the top 10 reasons why I chose the school that I'm going to, my major, and basically what it is that I'm looking to do with it after I graduate. So don't mind me if you happen to see this raggedy envelope right here that I literally just scribbled on because my daughter is gone right now, which is not a common thing for me. I am a single mother and I'm really just trying to make the best use of my time moving forward. So here's my ghetto impromptu video that I got going on for y'all. So the name of my school is Western Governor University, which is WGU for short. I actually came to find out about my school upon watching video after video after video, mixed in, like sprinkled in with some articles on Reddit and what's the other one? I think it's called Quora, Quora. That's like a online forum where people can go to ask questions anonymously or not, and just talk about a whole wide array of subjects, just like Reddit. I feel like it's very popular to compare it to. So different forums like that, I came to learn about WGU, and I will touch on why I picked school, the traditional school route, which is a degree, over boot camp and the self-taught route, and even on the job train. I think a lot of people forget about how you don't necessarily have to do boot camp or self-taught or school. You can also position yourself to align with companies that are willing to train you, whether it be an apprenticeship or an internship, or just accepting, I hate to say it, even accepting lower pay than what you normally would have, or taking a pay cut knowing that you deserve better in order to learn. So there's a few different ways what I'm getting at in order to break into the tech field, which again, that's what I'm looking to do. My school accepts people on a rolling basis. The first of every month, it's rolling admission. So my particular start day was November 1st of 2022. And I chose that school and that route for 10 different reasons. And here we go. So the first reason is WGU is fairly reasonably priced, in my opinion. There's people that I know that have gone on to complete their degrees at these very prestigious institutions, and I certainly don't want to knock anybody for any educational achievement that they have gone on to earn, because that's exactly what you did. You earned it regardless of how much you paid or did not pay. And I certainly don't want to knock anybody or make anybody feel bad, but for me, I did not feel like that was necessary, and I am a stickler on accumulating debt, so that is not the route that I was trying to go. Just to keep that nice and short and sweet, the degrees at WGU typically range between $3,800 and like $4,400-ish per semester, which I think is absolutely phenomenal given the fact that, so this is part of number one still, given the fact that you can complete as many classes as you want. So as long as you complete your first 12 credits, is considered a full-time semester, like a typical accredited college, because that's exactly what it is, an accredited college, then you'll be fine. As far as, oh my God, y'all, somebody can see me the way that I'm sitting, they can see me recording. Like, they're like walking their dog and like, why is she talking in the camera? Oh, this is so nerve-wracking. Okay, Deondra, get it together. Okay, no, seriously. So, where was I even at? Oh, the $4,400-ish, depending on the major. And that was super, super affordable to me. And that was before I even knew that I would be able to take advantage of number 2, which is tuition reimbursement. So for me, this is why it's important to do what's best for you, but I'm just listing off the reasons why this was what was best for me. So for me, I ended up accepting a job offer in my first ever entry-level tech job back in September 2022, right? And the job happened to, like most jobs nowadays, I feel like has some sort of tuition reimbursement. Now, how much and what they're willing to fund your schooling, what they're willing to fund as far as the major and things like that, of course, probably depends. Would my particular company that I work for, which is a communications company, necessarily pay for me to, say, be a nurse? Probably not. And now I'm not even, let me stop playing. They wouldn't, because that doesn't align with what it is that I could do for them, basically, since they're ultimately invested in you. So that's number 2. The whole tuition reimbursement thing ended up kind of falling in my lap because I had already made the decision to go back to school. So when I got my job in September, I actually tried to sign up for school by October, but it just didn't work out as far as like the timeline submissions for different documents that was requested by the school. So that didn't work out, and that's okay. It ended up being pushed up to November, and it just kind of played out to where I was able to essentially go to school for free. But the way that my job works is you do have to give them a certain amount of time after receiving your last tuition payment, and in order to be like scot-free as far as not owing that money back. Because I mean, if you think about it, why would they want to pay for your schooling and then literally a week later you're like, all right guys, thanks, it's been real, but I'm about to go over to so-and-so and utilize this degree over there. So, you know, it's understandable, and that's the reality of the situation that I decided to have an agreement with as far as with my job. And at the end of the day, if it absolutely came down to me needing to leave my job, I mean, I would just have to do that. That's not my plan. I actually love the job that I'm currently at. It's literally the best job that I've ever had, but we all know that how you feel about your job can change, and furthermore, how they feel about you can change. So that's that. The rest of these are fairly easy to like kind of breeze through and self-explanatory as to why not self-explanatory, but I won't really have to harp on this, on my reasons probably for too much longer. Number 3 is that it's self-paced. So it's 100% remote, and it's one thing to be remote and you have like deadlines as far as assignments and things like that, but here, that's not how it works. You need to make sure that the credits that you and your mentor agreed upon when you first got enrolled, that you're actually taking that seriously and completing all of your assignments and or exams, assessments prior to your 6-month cutoff date. And that's it. Anything outside of that, like I stated before, you can take as many classes as you want. As long as you complete them, you're good to go. 4 is it's an accredited school. So it's an accredited college. And I think a lot of times people, when they hear remote, they think either scam or you didn't quite work as hard, which for me couldn't be any further from the truth. Because here's the thing, I don't know if people are aware of how certain online, I can't speak for all of them, but how certain online colleges work. But at least for mine, these exams are proctored. So like I actually have an external webcam that I had to make sure that was approved by the school, so that each and every class that I complete, I have to schedule the exam for a real human being to monitor me while I'm taking the assessment to make sure I'm not cheating and, for integrity purposes. So I'm like, I kind of like the fact that, you can't cheat. Like, let's be real. Anybody that's ever taken an online class or could get away with Googling an assignment or perhaps going to Chegg, that's CHEGG, to get the answers to a test or a worksheet that was given to you by a professor, etc., knows that you can sometimes finesse the system if you're taking an online class. I know it may seem like a weird reason, like, oh, proctored exams and being accredited is, well, not weird, but it may seem like a not a typical reason for enjoying school, but for me it is, because it's literally forcing me to do my very best, because there's no cheat sheets or anything like that that's allowed for these exams. Like, you go in at the end of each class and you either know it or you don't. Number 6 is the communities. When I say communities to help support classes, I'm referring particularly to all of the forums and online resources and Facebook groups and YouTube videos, etc. Basically online free resources that you can use to link with other students and connect with them and get advice from them and get a heads up on certain, not the answers, y'all. We can't be getting kicked out because we compromise the integrity of our assessments and things like that, but giving you a heads up of what to expect and linking other resources that you can use in order to pass these exams. There's a lot of that at my school, because my school is known for being able to crank out professionals that have demonstrated their competence in varying areas. So not just tech, but since I'm in tech, that's what I'm gonna focus on, particularly tech, because they do offer degrees in cybersecurity, in networking, in information technology management, etc. So I definitely appreciate that, because how many times have any of you all been at a traditional college and didn't necessarily have the network in place to reach out and ask about certain assignments, professors, etc.? I don't know, something to think about and something that I definitely appreciate. Number 7, I eventually want to relocate and then of course move up the ladder within the tech space and make bank. Like, we ain't gonna beat around the bush here. Like, we're here for the money, for the coins. And a lot of times, I hate to say it, I know the running theory around getting into tech is you don't need a degree, you can teach yourself, etc., etc. But honestly, there are certain jobs or certain major companies, especially, not that I want to work for a major company, especially that use having a degree as an HR filter. Like, literally, they'll decline speaking to you or considering you for management positions. That's another one. And just certain opportunities based on you having a degree or not having a degree. So it's not that it necessarily gets you in the door, but it gets you in the door to get you in the door, if that makes sense. And honestly, I would like to take advantage of that. Having a degree obviously signifies that you know base foundational knowledge in XYZ. And that's a lot of times what recruiters want to see at the very least. So being able to put that on a resume and move forward in my professional life, that means a lot to me. Number 8 is I want to eventually work for myself. And I'm finding that, a lot of people who want to entrust very important tasks to other people want to A, see what type of experience that you have, B, see, hear reviews and testimonies from others that you have worked with, and C, want to verify any type of documents that you may have that can prove that you completed XYZ program or certification or boot camp, etc. Because that pretty much guarantees that you have a certain level or foundational knowledge in a subject. Like, let's keep it real. So because my end goal is to be a independent cybersecurity consultant for very high profile clients and basically people with money that need security and want to make sure that their digital assets are safe and secure, I feel like for me, a degree from WGU will be able to display that to potential customers, or not potential, future customers. We speaking this into existence, y'all. Number 9 is I love the fact that the degree that I am seeking, as well as any of the other information technology degrees, include industry standard certifications. So what do I mean by that? Within the tech space, there are certain certifications that do exactly what this degree does, which is display that you know knowledge about whoop-de-doo, whatever it may be. WGU actually, because a lot of the classes, they require you to pass the certification in order to pass the class. Essentially, you're being afforded the opportunity to get all of these different certifications along the way, which you otherwise would have to pay for privately at other institutions. Or amazing opportunity for WGU to include those within the tuition that's already very affordably priced. Because a lot of community colleges and things like that don't do that. Like, let's keep it real. And I'm not saying that they should or even could, but they don't. So there's that. And like, for example, I am actively studying to pass my A+ certification, and the end of my current semester is going to be at the end of April. So because that's 6 months from my start date in November 2022. So at the end of April, I will need to have passed my A+ in order to finish out my full-time semester's worth of classes. Now, revisiting what I said before about being allowed to take as many classes as you want by the end of each 6-month term, for me, this term has been a lot as far as like childcare and me receiving a promotion recently at work, and just like some personal stuff that I'll probably eventually touch on and get into in other videos and down the line. But I was unable to do past that mark this time around, this first semester. And who knows, maybe I'll be able to squeeze in one class and still receive my A+ exam, my A+ certification. I don't know. But for me, a win will be just getting this A+ and finishing out my 6 months that way. The study materials that are needed to pass these exams are essentially wrapped into the cost of tuition as well, because how many times have you heard of people studying to become anything in any field really, but to keep it on tech for the A+ or the ITIL or CCNA, etc., and then you have to basically come out of pocket to get certain resources or try to piece together YouTube videos and the free resources, which are all really great, but they're not presented in an organized way since you're gathering these resources yourself. And it's really nice to just be able to, it's like a 2-in-1 for me at least. I can get a degree, but still get certifications along the way that could also still lead to internships, additional promotions, even job changes if it came down to that, which could lead to pay increases and et cetera, et cetera. So to me, that was a really, really nice perk, and probably put the cherry on top as to how I even landed here to begin with. The last reason, number 10, would be because I would eventually like to relocate. Getting a degree is very, very important to me, because wherever I end up relocating to, even though I want to work remote long term, I may not be able to do that right away, or I may have a situation where a job wants me to live within a certain state, even if it is remote. And what I'm finding is a lot of jobs out of state, honestly, they respond to candidates that have a degree. Coming from my own experience of applying to different jobs before and after having a degree, they respond more from what at least my own experience, y'all, they respond more when you have a degree. And my degrees that I do have, I have 2 associate's degrees that I do have nothing to do with tech. One is a healthcare related degree in something called surgical technology. No, it does not have anything to do with technology. It's literally centered around being an assistant to a surgeon within an operating room. And then the other one is social science. So these 2 don't really have anything to do with each other, but I can only imagine the feedback or the engagement that I'll be able to see happening with recruiters after I get my bachelor's, which I didn't even touch on this, y'all, is in something called cloud computing. So cloud computing is basically getting a virtual computer to do something. And when I say do something, it could be artificial intelligence. It can be storage. We all heard of iCloud, right? It could be storage. It could be just carrying out computer functions or storage or security, but virtually, pretty much, because let's be real, that's the direction that a lot of companies in the future is headed towards. So even though I would like to eventually transition into cybersecurity, that it would be beneficial for me to explore the degree that allows me to be positioned for the most in-demand jobs, that has really good pay, 6-figure-ish, typical tech talk. Oh, 6-figure jobs. And something that presents the least amount of competition for those that are already within the tech space. Because you have to remember, even though now, we all hear about the tech layoffs that are currently going on. Honestly, these layoffs were going on for quite some time now, like for some months back. I would even say like at least for a year. It's just that I feel like they're increasingly getting worse or more noticeable or receiving more media attention. And to be quite honest, I don't think a lot of people, when they say cybersecurity, because that's like a buzzword right now, it's a really hot thing to get into and to be interested in and to pursue. They're not thinking about how before you entrust somebody with the security of anything, you kind of want to make sure that they have a very solid understanding of what it is that they're securing. So, for example, if you're going to hire a bouncer at a club, would you hire the bouncer that don't work out, that don't know what a fake ID is, that don't know the side of town really well? Like, you kind of want somebody that knows certain things so that they know how to navigate the crowd that they're expected to manage and keep secure. Same thing with cybersecurity. And I'm not trying to discourage anybody that may be going to school for cybersecurity. I think all fields within tech, you could pretty much, even if you start off in one place, you could pretty much transition into another space, period. Now, how easy that is or what that looks like for you will vary, of course. So this is not like a bashing the cybersecurity major thing that I'm doing right here, but I was thinking about job availability, and after even networking with other people who are already in tech, I came to the conclusion that cybersecurity was not the route that I wanted to go. And on top of that, cloud computing has the certifications that are available to you to me, were more beneficial than what cyber was talking about. And it's cheaper, honestly. My major was cheaper than cyber, and I honestly think that it may have something to do with the popularity behind it. I don't know. Who am I? I don't know. I don't want to assume or say that as if I know for sure, but yeah, I guess I even have a bonus reason down here, you guys. I guess even as like my bonus reason for wanting to pursue this degree is I eventually want to release educational materials, and I'll get into this more later because I don't want to, I'm trying to get out of like speaking too soon about certain things and speaking on things before allowing them to reveal itself in my life. That's how you mess up y'all blessings. And But I will say that I do think that there should be more representation in this space. And even educationally, I think it should be more of us, like, period, more of us. And it's not. So getting my degree in this could be the very first step to me proving to me that I know what I'm talking about and what it is that is considered industry standards and things like that, before trying to pursue the idea of teaching others or creating study materials or tutoring, or I'm not sure what it is that has been placed on my heart and soul to do in order to inspire others and educate others in this field, but I know that it's there. So having a degree as my bonus, very last reason, will for sure prove to be beneficial when it's my time to shine and release certain things that align with my vision, as far as helping others get into this space. So now that you guys know my 10.5 reasons, since I threw in that little bonus reason for you guys, I'm gonna just wrap up this video. It's already, oh my gosh, going on a half an hour, and I told myself that the video was gonna be like half that time. So between editing and stuff, I don't know how exactly long this will be, but I don't want to keep y'all forever. I actually got to go get my kids soon. It's getting late, so let me get out of here. As always, leave any questions, comments, all of that in the comments. The very next video that I will be touching about that I release will be, I wrote it down, y'all. Hold on. I will explain why I chose a degree over boot camp, on the job experience / internship, stuff like that I touched on earlier, and self-study. I will break down my reasons, and maybe that can help somebody figure out what they want to do, because my way ain't the only way, and it ain't necessarily the best way. It was just the best way for me. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'm out.